drive well. You got a chance to get away with it if you're a good driver. I'm not saying you should drive when you're suspended, but I understand the reality. Some people feel that they have to. Talk to me about Mr. Vargo.
Good afternoon, QMP 64917 on behalf of Mr. Vargo, saying to my left, Mr. Vargo, please state your name, sir.
Vargo.
Your Honor, here today for a show cause. The allegations are we owe us some money and apparently have some missed dates on the work program. I believe 3, is that correct? Missed dates. As it relates to the payment.
Yeah, that's what I showed. Two days owed.
It's the payment portion, Your Honor. My understanding, he made a payment today.
How much?
Being paid soon. It was $180.
All right. So before that payment, I think you owed us $652. That's what my notes show, and that's from the 21st. Okay. All right. Go ahead.
As it relates to those 2 days of the work program, Your Honor, we're having a difficult time with transportation. Defendant does not have a license, resides within the city limits of Detroit. It's $77 one way to get out here with it. I'm asking for consideration of maybe changing those from work program to community service, even if it's additional community service to prevent that $77 one way trip or just the time to get out here. I believe he's been compliant other than that.
You working, sir?
Yes.
Where do you work?
Started at
Amazon? When?
today, I believe.
When's the last time you worked?
We can have to go.
Where at?
Kingston.
What?
It's out of one of
What do they do?
car parts, building car parts,
How long were you there?
probably for about 3 months.
Where were you at before that?
Boston roofing systems.
How long were you there?
Probably for about 4.5 months.
What's the problem?
I get jobs through temp services. And then on top of that, I kind of don't even want to do the line of work that I'm in.
Okay, so what do you want to do? Nursing? You in school?
I'm not testing into school though.
Where?
There's a state university, they got a nursing program or something.
So what's the end result? Like an RN or practical nurse? What?
Right? To be honest.
All right, what's stopping you from the program? Why? Motivation?
I'm not really even motivation, just trying to clean up on my license, then trying to get like custody to see my daughter. Then
How old's your daughter?
she's like 6.5, 7, and 8.
Mhm.
So
What's wrong with your license? What do you need to do?
pay a lot of tickets.
Where are your tickets at? Are they all over?
Yeah, they're all over. Typically got acquired these tickets twice. One to see my daughter, she has something. Then I get tickets here and there, either coming to work or going from
Okay.
to work.
All right. This is going to sound like I'm putting salt in the wound, and I don't mean to do that. But the reality is, if you can't drive legally, you should be a better driver. Because you've never been stopped because the cop saw you and said, oh, he don't have a license.
Like car.
What's wrong with the car you drive?
My liquor and or something.
But once again, then buy a beater. I'm telling you, I've been in this job for 28 years. I've never had anybody stand in front of me with a drove while license suspended charge and they got stopped because they were, well, yes, I have. Sometimes the cop knows you, right? But it's almost always they were speeding, they ran a stop sign. Suspended drivers are the worst drivers. And trust me, brother, listen, I know we don't live in Chicago, right? I know sometimes you got to drive because you got obligations and you got to drive. Then drive well. You got a chance to get away with it if you're a good driver. I'm not saying you should drive when you're suspended, but I understand the reality. Some people feel that they have to. This building has already spent more resources on you and your little rinky-dink fail to display a valid license ticket than some of the major cases we have. And here we are. You still haven't done what we told you to do. And I gave you a break when I only charged you $400. So we must have had a conversation at sentencing that made me feel for you, because almost always this is a $500 fines and cost charge. I'll be honest, when I read this piece of paper today, I'm like, well, he's going to do his work program in jail today. Because we provide transportation for that. And then I can close the damn file, at least that end of it. You got any criminal history? Felonies? So not the kind of stuff that's costing you jobs? How old are you? 29. I am so tired of dealing with these young guys that just, oh. Man, you should be 4 or 5 years into a career by now.
I have a few years in the roofing, but I had a roofing injury. November 2024. And that kind of spooked me to be honest.
Oh, I don't, dude, I've done a lot of roofing. I can give you all kinds of reasons why I wouldn't pick that as a career. But you gotta get something, man. What's your daughter's name? Ava. Man, I got a daughter. I know you got all kinds of dreams what you want to do for that little girl. I know you do. Are you on track to make it happen? How? Dude, I just went through your last 3 jobs. The last one lasted less than 5 months. The longest one. Your plan ain't working, brother. And I'm not trying to beat you up. I'm trying to wake you up. Your plan ain't working. Is what's stopping you from the nursing program is transportation? And that's all a money thing. Counsel, you familiar with any of those Clean Start programs?
On the 36th district court, we actually talked about that a little bit. It sounds like he's got a little bit out of 36th district, but
Any little bit helps.
he's got some in Westland. I don't believe that's part of the program. So, yeah, he's got some that he can get some help with, it looks like, Judge, but you know, I haven't seen his record, but.
How much do you pay us today? $180? So that leaves a balance of $472. Mr. Vargo, believe it or not, I'm up here racking my brain trying to figure out a way, some way I can help. Man, I just hate to see where you're at. When are you coming back again, counsel?
I believe the 12th, no, February.
February 12th? Go to the Secretary of State, ask them to give you a printout of all the stuff you got to clean up to get your license back. Bring that back on the 12th. Because if I'm hearing you correctly, that's the major thing right now that's holding you back from moving forward. Am I right or am I wrong? All right, so maybe you bring that information, because right now we don't have enough information. Maybe if you bring that information back, the three of us can come up with some kind of plan. Because, I mean, I'll call Westland. I mean, I know the judges in Westland. I'll call the judges in Westland and try to get them to work with you if we can come up with some kind of a plan. I'm not saying they'll listen to me, but I'm saying I'll try. Man, I want to help you make all Ava's dreams come true. And you can't do that 3 months here and 2 months there, and then a month between that job and the other job. You got to start building. And I love the idea of a nursing career. You know, male nurses, they write their own schedule. I mean, those little females are pretty good at horsing those bodies around, but man, they get a guy in there with some muscle on him. They love to have a male. If you suffer enough trauma during that formative part of your years, your brain is actually rewired. It develops in a way that your brain's not supposed to develop, but it develops that way because it's self-defense. Like, I got to survive whatever's going on. This is the way my brain develops so I can survive, right? So your brain develops a way of doing things that get you through the toss in the trees. Go ahead.
So as Mr. Munson had just stated his name on the record, for today's date and time, we could have a chance to privately go with the PSI and simply
Good.
factual additions, deletions, or corrections to make the PSI. As for the recommendations, Your Honor, we do not. Your Honor, we would ask the court to adopt the recommendation in full, and we are prepared for an allocution as my client does present to this court with, I would just say, positive work and positive progress since we
Good. Good. Share it.
Yeah, please. Well, you know what? A lot of times I like to do all the jabbering, but I believe my client may be the
Perfect.
to hear from on the progress that's been going on.
Bring me up to speed.
So, I'm Barry Brown. I got extensive criminal record. Got over pain, like the past. It's always wise. Last one on the ball.
Last year?
Oh, yes.
Oh, that's Livonia? No. Okay. This one. Okay, March 7th. Go ahead. Okay.
After that, I sat down and I thought about it. Said lots of, everything I did. To consider my background, it's hard for me to get it.
Sure.
Full time. Working over. I don't have license or anything, so I either Uber, catch the bus, go to ride. I gotta figure out a way.
Yeah, it gets expensive.
Every day.
Yeah.
Since I've been here, I want to become supervisor.
Good.
School full time, get my bachelor's in accounting.
Good. Where are you going to school?
It's a very good person.
Okay.
Those are things I've been going up and trying to get. With housing, at the current time I'm living with my brother.
Okay.
Could be here day back here.
Mhm.
So.
There's been also been counseling with people on this. There's been,
See one, some, one of mine.
Mr. Mawson, tell me one thing you've learned through the counseling.
Patience, can't give up. Yeah, and stay busy, try to stay busy and find, activities to do.
Mhm. Last week, I was lucky. I got to go speak to a bunch of middle school kids, and I'm a big Abe Lincoln fan. He's got some great quotes. I don't know if they're all really his, but he's got some great quotes that are attributed to him. And one of them, I'm going to paraphrase it, but one of them is, "You haven't failed until you quit." Yeah. Yeah. Okay, anything else?
And Your Honor, I feel like I could probably continue to just bolster where my client's been going, but again, I don't think proud's the right word, but I'm inspired, I think, to just see that somebody who has dealt with a lot of adversity and just owns their past
Mhm.
outright and doesn't make excuses.
Yeah.
But instead focuses on where the path forward is. For those reasons, Your Honor, I think my client's going to be a great candidate to comply with the conditions of probation. As he stated, transportation certainly is an issue. I'm kind of looking through the recommendations.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I think the probation department will work with them. I think.
I'm in your plan.
In your point, right? So,
I mean, I found the bus robbing some days, you know, on the weekend when they don't find it. First of all, I'm making it. Start to work. That's something I would need to go anywhere else. School online.
Well, until I just changed your sentencing terms, you're going to have to show up here for work program, but I'm going to help you with that. All right. Anything else?
I'm gonna, Your Honor, I'm gonna quit while I'm ahead. I think you just.
Good plan. Okay. All right. So you're on probation at circuit court? Where's that at? When they put you on probation? When did they put you on probation? 2-year probation? What hoops do they have you jumping through?
I was going through AA, performing AA class with them. I completed that with them. She was telling me that she was about to get my community service suspended because I'm working full-time at education school.
Okay.
And she also told me, let her know when I get sentenced with this, because there's no need to be on 2 different.
Good.
probations.
Good.
She might talk to her supervisor.
Good.
about
I'd be happy to take you. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right. Anything else? Okay.
No, Your Honor, I think.
We're good?
So the audience,
Yeah.
I think we've covered the main
Yeah.
points and,
All right.
prepare this court room.
I'm going to give you my terms of sentence and then I want to share something with you. Okay. So we've got 2 charges. One is the driving offense, which was a fail to display valid license. I'm going to put you on probation on both of them for 12 months. All the recommendations that you went over with Mr. Hadley, those are court orders, except I'm changing the work program to hours of community service charity work, 60 hours of charity work. I don't care where you're at, church, soup kitchen, Salvation Army, as long as it's a registered, with the IRS, registered nonprofit, we'll give you a list of organizations in our area. You don't have to work off that list. You can find someplace closer to home for transportation purposes. All right. Yeah, you'll find something. What I would suggest you do is make arrangements with somebody and then contact Ms. Tiroli and make sure she says, yeah, that'll work. Because I don't want you to be 10, 20 hours in and for us to tell you that doesn't meet our requirements. All right. So the total on the file, $1,500 on count 1, $500 on count 2. Go downstairs and talk about options on that. I've given you a lot of stuff to do. To me, the least important one is the money. If you're having trouble with the money, I want you to do everything else. We'll work with you on the money. I want all the other stuff in play. All right. Now, something I want to share with you. Did you even notice that one of the things that shows up in that report is your ACE score of 5?
Adverse childhood experience. Test.
Are you familiar with them? All right. This is not part of my sentence. I'm going to strongly encourage you to do a little research online. Check out ACEs, adverse childhood events. I'm looking at the white in the beard. I think if you go into that, and I can tell by talking to you, you got a lot going on up here. Okay. If you do some research on that with a real open, like with a really inquisitive mind, I want to understand this. You'll read stuff in that whole body of research. You'll read stuff and you'll think, that's me. Huh. I always wondered why I kept doing stuff that I knew wasn't good for me, but I did it anyhow. Okay. So short version. We all experience trauma. All right. At every age, we all experience trauma, right? And trauma could be, the death of a loved one, somebody close to you. Trauma could be physical or emotional abuse. I mean, there's all different, if your parent was in jail while you were little, that could be trauma on a kid. There's all these different events that classify as adverse childhood events. Okay. If you suffer enough trauma during that formative part of your years, your brain is actually rewired. It develops in a way that your brain's not supposed to develop, but it develops that way because it's self-defense. It's like, I got to survive whatever's going on. This is the way my brain develops so I can survive. right? So your brain develops a way of doing things that get you through the trauma.
Certain court month, that's already. Wrote a. I don't know what you call it.
Yeah. And talked about this stuff. Here's the best way and I wish I could take ownership of this because I heard somebody else say it this way and it's like, so you agree with me that, our brain develops a certain way to deal with our reality. And, your reality is different than mine, right? When you were 6, you didn't have my reality when I was 6. It just, right? We're all individuals. So your brain's developed a way to deal with your reality. But as your reality changes, you can't still use the same tools. So here's the analogy I heard. Picture this. There's a real wide river, and there's a bunch of people on the south side of the river trying to figure out how are we going to get across the north side of the river because it's deep and it's rushing, right? So they're all like, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? One guy gets the big idea, right? He goes down, he cuts down a bunch of bamboo, and he builds a raft. And he gets across the river. He's got it licked now, right? So he's continuing on his journey. Everybody's still on the other side of the river because they didn't figure it out yet, but he's continuing his journey. Well, as he continues on his journey, he gets to a mountain. Guess what he does? He takes that damn raft up the mountain because, damn it, that raft got him across the river. It's not helping him get up the mountain, it's hurting him. But he's taking the raft up the river, damn it, because that's the tool that saved him back there. Isn't that a great analogy? Somebody agree with me. I think it's great.
Awesome.
I thought it was a great analogy because seriously, I've done this for a long time. I've watched the way people screw things up because they're still trying to carry their raft. They're not crossing any more rivers, but they're still carrying a raft. And I think if you do the research, I think it might help you because you're reinventing yourself right now. That's what I heard when when he was encouraging you to tell me what's been going on. I'm hearing about a guy at 48 that's reinventing himself. Okay. I think this will help you in that process because it's easier to make changes when we understand why we do what we do. I think this is really powerful stuff. Okay. I spent too much time on it already. Anything else on sentencing?
No, and just
I'd love for you to come back here in a month or two and tell me, hey, I did that. Here's my thought process. I'd love to hear it. That would make my tail wag. Like,
There would be one thing at the end.
go ahead. Okay. All right. I'm going to adopt in full the recommendation from probation that you went over. 12-month probation. The terms 1 through 10 that you went over with Mr. Bowditch are all adopted. That includes the 8 days on the court work program. ISS work program is an alternative to jail. You get to pick the days, you schedule them on your own. Fines and costs total $1,500. Can you pay that today?
You pay 1,000 of it.
Okay, go downstairs and make arrangements for the balance.
Your Honor?
Yep.
Before we end this, Mr. Jones has an extensive work history and work responsibilities. He was wondering if there's any way he could convert his work program to community service.
You've got extensive responsibility at a place you've been for 6 months?
I've been there almost actually a year so far now.
What's your regular shift?
8 to 5.
Monday through Friday?
So
On the weekends, Your Honor, he has custody of his daughter.
How old's your daughter, sir?
5.
Fun age. She still likes people now. Another 8 years, she won't like anybody. All right, I'll convert your 8 days to 48 hours community service. Any nonprofit charity, we've got a list downstairs that are pre-approved if you want to work from our list.
I told, Your Honor, you made a comment once about going to an animal shelter and taking a child and combining both. I brought those same comments to Mr. Jones. You know, that was a really good idea.
They're on our list. Yeah. If the shelter will let a 5-year-old in.
Also, Your Honor, on that day, there was a weapon and a knife confiscated. The CPA, he had a CPL that expired. Is there any way
file.
that he gets his, the gun, he may understand the forfeiture, but he'd like the knife.
I would talk to Miss Manorino and see if she can, make an inquiry and see if it's still available.
On the document
Yes.
for the extension, there's the prosecutor's name.
Yeah.
There's examiner's name. If you spoke, like, and just tell her that you were wondering if I said, but when she can give you the steps.
Okay.
And I'm sure maybe a little wish to talk with you, except he's a very nice lady. So be real polite. Good.
Yes, sir.
Good luck.
Thank you, Ron.
You can't imagine. All right? Good luck. What's next? Mr. Hadley?
Question you got. Your Honor, next ready to go on Elizabeth Borsay.
Borsay with a V?
Borse or Borsay? Borse, yeah, oh, for
With a V?
V, with a V as in Victor. Borse. I'm saying.
Got it.
I'd like to say that.
Your appearance.
Thank you. Please state your full name for the record. Sorry.
Elizabeth Vorse.
Thank you.
Josh Hadley, on behalf with my client, Miss Elizabeth Borse. Today's the date and time set for sentencing. We would have a chance to review the BSI. We have no factual interpolations corrections to make. Practically speaking, we have one question,
Good.
and it is about condition number 6,
Gotcha.
the testing for, or the fingerprint.
Right.
I believe MSP was the arresting,
Yes.
hell yeah. Are we talking one of the outposts, or is she able to?
We got all that. What happened to that paperwork? Is it in here somewhere?
Yep, it's in file.
Oh, it's right here. Yeah, so she's got to go to MSP South and she only do it Thursday mornings.
If that might say Taylor, okay.
Yeah.
She's a resident of Toledo. Maybe if we could get, does it say 14 days to get that one
We
done?
give her till February 5th, so she's got 2 Thursdays. I mean, she can even try on your way home today. Maybe they'll take you this afternoon. I don't know.
No, it's better than a drive up.
Might as well try.
That we're just kind of trying to hope that it wouldn't have.
So we'll give you the paper you need when you walk in. Okay.
Okay. Otherwise, Your Honor, no issues. Awesome.
So does I have, yeah, right here, that's what you're looking for. If you Google Post 22, it'll take.
Okay, Your Honor.
Post 25, I think. Post 22 is somewhere else. I think. I know it says post 22 is.
It's in Taylor. Just Google Michigan State Police, Taylor, Michigan.
There's the one at Oak Park and the one at Taylor. I think those are the only outposts or anywhere
Yep.
close here anymore that are like substation or that aren't substations. Otherwise, Your Honor, all other conditions, recommendations, we would ask the court to adopt for.
Ma'am, anything you want to add? All right.
Well, let me, I say that,
He can't help himself.
you can celebrate a little bit, so maybe as we're looking at.
70.
All right,
For you.
so, yeah.
How? What are you doing?
I'm a caregiver, actually, for seniors.
So focus the, what was I doing with my time and some of the issues into other people's needs. I think would be the cleanest way to kind of, what we've talked about this summer.
Okay.
So, sorry, I still got nothing to say. I'm like, no, wait, you've been so.
I knew that was a lie.
But otherwise, I'd like to boast that to the court that she is walking the walk.
Okay. All right. So first I'm going to sentence you, then I'm going to preach at you. So the sentencing is I'm going to adopt in full the recommendations of the probation department. I'm going to put you on for 12 months. 40 hours community service. Everything that was in that is recommendations are now court ordered. Fines and costs $1,300. Can you pay that today? All right.
Yeah.
Yep, they'll tell you what your options are downstairs. All right, so here's I'm gonna preach. I'm getting really preachy today. I apologize to all of you. But you're court ordered, so you're stuck with it. Your blood alcohol level, I think, is the highest I've ever seen. I know it's the highest I've seen in a long, long time because I don't remember a higher one. At a 0.35, if you would have been in a car accident and they took you to the hospital and your blood level came in at 0.35, they would have admitted you. Because at 0.35 is when your involuntary muscle groups can just say, screw it, we're not working anymore. You know what those muscles are? Your heart and lung. So you're literally at 0.35 medically is when you're in danger of your heart and your lungs saying, screw it, we're out. You were there, you were past there, you were 5 times the legal limit. Now, I'm telling you all that not to make you feel bad. I'm not doing it that. I'm telling you that because I want you to have the right mindset as you go into this probation. I put people on probation not as punishment, but because I determined, and I can do that. I've determined there's some behavior that needs to change. So one of the things we've ordered for you is substance abuse evaluation and or treatment. I don't want you to walk into that with the idea, Oakley's making me do this, I'm just going to do it and get it over with. I want you to walk into that with the idea with, I'm here, what can it teach me about me?
And that's why I'm making the change now.
And that was very, very tail wagging when he said you got 78 days of sobriety. Okay, that's a pretty good start. But I want you to hear my heart. And I noticed that you told her that you thought you were a social drinker. You've got an alcohol problem. Because alcohol has caused you huge problems. And you and I could spend the next hour and talk about all the damage that's happened in your life, and alcohol was at the bottom of it, right? Okay, that's an alcohol problem, right? Okay. So I hope, hopefully that flips a switch in your head. If it needed to be switched, if it needed to be flipped, it flips it. And just go into this with the idea, I'm doing it to stay out of trouble, right? I'm going to do what Oakley told me because I don't want Oakley to put me in jail.
Save my life.
Then I'm done talking. Have a good day.
You know what, Your Honor, we appreciate that and thank
Yes, we
you.
do. Thank you.
Of clients, I know that this is being received. Nothing.
Good. Good. Appreciate it. Good luck to you. What's next?
All right, Your Honor, we're ready for, I got the name right on this one, William Woods. Did not mispronounce this one.
It's not Woodis? Tell him it's Woodis.
If you say Woods, I'm gonna lose. All right, okay. Please state your name for the record, good sir.
William Woods.
Start talking while I find it.
Absolutely, Your Honor. Attorney Josh Hadley, appearing on behalf of Mr. William Woods for today's date and time, sentencing on this, matter. We did get.
Officer Kroba would be up here finding these files for me.
Uh-oh.
Got it.
No worries, Your Honor. So that, recommendation that you,
Got it.
nothing to change. Actually, everything on there was accurate. We've got no issues with that. I think we would make note of, Your Honor, is as to the, I'm sorry, I got the wrong one. My computer just did. 1 second. Okay, there it is. We're not asking for any necessarily modifications or changes to what the recommendations are, but as to number 7 with the work program.
Yep.
My client does have a couple of medical conditions that I think we just would want to make the program aware of the days that he shows up.
Are you on any official restrictions?
Like medically, they tell you like you should not do it.
Like your doctor said, don't lift more than 40 pounds or anything?
I don't believe so. I just
Okay.
have sensory issues.
Okay.
So it's more as.
That-
Yeah.
I'm not going to say you have to bring restrictions, but that's the best way for us to do it because we can look at your restrictions and say, yeah, we can fit that.
Documentation.
Agree with that.
Yeah.
That, so really for his first day of the work program, he would just need to bring that with.
I'd rather have him present it. He can email it to Mr. Rowley before he starts his schedule.
That way you guys. have
Yeah, because if I don't want him to come in here and we decide no, and then that's somebody else that couldn't have that slot.
Good one.
So schedule your days, share the information with Mr. Rowley, and then she might reach out and say, no, we got a better option for you. We don't know until we see the details. Go ahead.
Otherwise, my client stands before this court humbled and I think you want to say anything that for you.
You don't have to.
I didn't get something wrong. I understand it. I'm gonna make a difference on it. It's not something that I'm gonna look at as a mistake or I'm gonna make an example of changing.
Good.
So better, Your Honor, that's what we needed there.
Okay.
Was, thank you.
All right, gentlemen, sentence is 12 months on probation. I'm adopting in full items 1 through 11. That includes the 8 days on the court work program that we just talked about. Total on the fines and costs, $1,500. Pay it in full downstairs or ask them what your options are and they'll give you all the options. Now, short lecture for you. Did you listen to what I told the guy about ACEs?
My mother wrote that down.
All right. You're at a 4. Okay. Do your research. Okay. I'm telling you, I get so excited about that whole body evidence because it was mind blowing when I first got into it. They've actually got studies, years long studies about how your ACEs scores, and based on your ACE scores, the prediction for your life. For example, I'm going to make stuff up because my memory's doesn't work that well. But for example, if you have 8, you're 5 times more likely to have problems with substance abuse in your lifetime. You're 4 times more likely to have a cancer. These are directly related to your physical health. I mean, it's amazing stuff. What these studies, the results of these studies. And that's why like I told the guy in front of you, I want you to read this stuff because I'm going to suggest to you, you're a young guy. You're 23, second drunk driving. Okay. I'm going to suggest to you that you're probably headed for a lot of bad shit coming down the road. The path I see you on. Okay. I think that if you had a better understanding of what makes you tick, and I think looking into the ACEs body of evidence will help you have a lot of aha moments, right? Because I think you're gonna read some of the stuff and you're gonna remember an incident where you did something and you're like, what the hell did I do that for?
Yeah, good point.
And I think one of the most important things you have to understand before you can make changes is why you're where you're at, right? You got to know how you got here if you want to change where you're at.
Correct. It's a reflection moment.
Lots of them. And you heard what I told the lady about, as you go into this probation and do everything I tell you to do because you don't want to go to jail, which is a good motivator. Go into it with the attitude that this is for you, not to you. All right.
My client's got the position going forward, looking at, they already got a map of the Secretary of State 257, 258 forms. So instead of looking at probation as a punishment, we've talked about using that as the incentive to put together that resume for the Secretary.
So he can get his
of State.
license back.
Get your license back.
Yep.
I think it's gonna be great, so, your
No, it's not.
they're gonna have you be, I think, did you find, you already issued fines?
I thought I did.
500
1,500.
or 1,500.
So you're good to go, send them on down?
It'll
Yep.
be, we have to do fingerprint order,
Oh, so stick around. We got to give you a piece of paper. Where's he got to go for prints?
same place.
MSP? All right. So we'll give him a notice.
You take it in the,
You got any more?
one more, sir.
Name.
It's gonna be Damari Filson.
Filson.
This is the line defendants never want to hear. The judge is done explaining, done negotiating. One more mistake, and jail becomes inevitable. This courtroom doesn't offer second chances.
We 649 here today on behalf of Ms. Hill Van approaching from my health, ma'am, please state your name.
Jasmine.
Judge, we're here again today for a show cause related specifically, I believe, to the food program. Allegedly has everything done.
Yeah.
Not work program.
Community service.
It's got proof of it right here.
All right. Yeah. Let me have it. Yeah. Are you on a payment plan? For the money? So for the money you owe us, are you on a payment plan?
I just spoke to a lady, she said the other day, just like service, the money is not what you need to pay.
No. That don't mean you don't owe us any money. That means today's thing was about the community service. Right. So my question is, you don't have a payment plan? Okay. So while I'm looking at this, what's your plan to take care of the $685? And this is no good at all. You were told it's got to be on letterhead so we can confirm it.
When I told her about the letter.
I don't care what you were told on that. I'm just telling you, it's got to be on. I don't care. I don't know how else I can say. I don't care. We can't confirm that that's real. Your sister on her word processor could have put that together. We can't confirm that. That's why we tell people it's got to be on the letterhead, the official letterhead from the charitable organization. That has their name, their phone number, their address. We can put them in a computer. We can check to see it's a legitimate charity. We can see that they're in good standing with the state of Michigan. We can do our due diligence. We can't do anything with that. Okay. Did you know you owed $685? You were sentenced on both those files. At some point, one of the judges in the black robe told you how much you owed. Well, no, one was 240 and one was 445.
And people are working on that except as soon as possible.
How much?
I feel like. Look, as today,
No, you said you can do a payment plan. I'm asking you how much. What's your plan? What's your payment plan? What do you want to do? How much? How often? When can you start? Listen to me. How much? How often? When can you start?
I can pay the fee, but I can start off with like $50. Like,
How much? 50. How often? When will you start? 3 questions to answer.
2 weeks and then I can start like in the next week. That's nothing.
Can you read the calendar? Okay, so this week is the 30th, right? No. 23rd. So pick a Friday. Next week is the 30th. Following week is the 6th. When you want your first one?
The week of just 6th of February.
That's not in the next 2 weeks. That's a month. Where did you do your charity work?
Church off in Omega. Holy Baptist Church, but then they also have the all 4 season program that meets like the homeless and gives like.
Okay. Okay. Okay, so go back to them and say, the judge needs official letterhead. I don't care if it's from the Four Seasons place or the church, but something, both of them, I'm sure the church is a nonprofit and Four Seasons probably will be too. So how much time do you need to get new paperwork?
I would say about the same time. 'Cause
No, I'm not giving you a month to find out we still got a problem. Okay, well, what prevents you from going there in the next 2 days and emailing it to her?